What is going on, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? Something new. That was something new. That was definitely something new. So if you didn't know, we had something new. So there's that. That's pretty cool, I think. I thought it was pretty awesome. But you know, that's my opinion. Little song, little ditty. Had to get that things going. Make sure that it's all like it should. Make sure that people can know that we actually have a theme song. Something that was put together. Kind of nice. Kind of cool. So yeah, new things happening, new stuff going on. I'll have that audio where it's posted and ready for people to check out later on if they want to download it for some weird, strange reason that they're like, hey, we liked your song so much, we wanted to have a copy of it. So that will be available. You know, just the typical normal stuff going on. I have been working tirelessly. I've been working on this special project, and I can't really talk about too much about this special project quite yet. It's something that's going to be going up. We're going to actually, we've put it out there for people for certain people to jump in and want to be part of. So that is good. Giving them an opportunity to be part of something amazing. But even better, we're probably going to crowdfund this ourselves. So we're going to have, we'll put in our money. We're going to have other people put in some money. We'll have people just, if in general, try to help create this thing and make it happen. It's something that's going to be coming up, that's pretty cool. Something that's going to be amazing. And honestly, it'll be something that will help create some amazing stuff in the near future. That being said, kind of cool, kind of amazing stuff happening. I do want to talk about something that popped up. So it's a video I saw, and it's actually pretty accurate. I figured go ahead and get this down. Then we'll jump into some emails in just a little bit. But go ahead and talk about this one little subject, because honestly, this audio, I saw the video. It's just basically a static picture. But then it had the audio, which was kind of amazing. Something that it's kind of to me, it's important. And I think it's something that is very, very true. And those of you guys that are watching this from TikTok probably won't be able to hear it, so I apologize. But if you go over to TikTok over to the X, then you'll be able to watch the live from there too. But yeah, anyway, let's get this thing playing and see what so you guys can know what I'm talking about. Oh, where'd it go?
1. He stood things your dad never told you. 1. He stood strongly and confidently for you, but also feared not being able to give you everything he never had, of not being enough. 2. His love for you was stronger than you might have heard him say, but he tried his hardest to show you through his actions. 3. At every achievement of yours, he'd cheer you on and then immediately start trying to smooth the path to your next victory. 4. His biggest wish was to be the man that you looked up to. 5. Through every challenge and sacrifice he made, he would happily go through the same thing thousands of times over for you. 6. He would give up everything for you in a heartbeat. 7. You are a light that helps him see brighter things in the future. 8. Every single thing you have ever accomplished validated every effort he made. You are his proudest achievement.
So basically it's a bunch of things that dads would do all over all the time for you, for anyone and everyone, right? Especially as a dad, I can tell you there's every one of these things are true. It's to me, being a dad is probably one of the biggest things the pinnacle of everything that I've ever done. First I thought it was amazing just to be a husband, and which is, don't get me wrong, being a husband is awesome. Being a husband is amazing. I love my wife. I do anything for my wife. I will move mountains for my wife. That being said, the second I became a father, I knew right then I would do anything for my kids. Literally anything. There's nothing that would stop me from doing anything with my kids or for my kids. On top of that, I would on top of that, Ryan Reynolds said it the best way possible. As he said it once, he said when it was on late night TV show, I'm not sure he's used the joke many times, but he said that the second that his first child was born, he knew that second that child was born that he would use his wife as a human shield to help protect that child. As funny as that is, and as joking as that is, fathers will do anything for their kids, no matter what. Even when your kids, as they get older, they become teenagers or young adults, and they get super pissed off at you, that dad will do whatever it takes to make sure your life is good. Even if you don't think he will, he will. He loves you. That's the bottom line. And so each one of these things, start with one on, he stood strong and confident for you, but he also feared not being able to give you everything he never had. It's a hard thing. We want to make sure our families have everything that we wanted them to have, and we wanted them to have things that we never got. That's what dads do. It's one of those things. We always want to make sure that our kids and our wives are taken care of to the fullest extent that we can possibly do. The second one, it says, his love for you was stronger than you might have heard him say. That's true. But then it says, but he tries his hardest to show you through his actions. That's one, you may not hear it from your dad that he loves you. And if you don't, that's sad. But on top of that, look what he does. Look what your dad does for you. If you're an adult and you're struggling with the fact that you're blaming your parents for all the problems you ever had in your life, I want you to stop. I want you to take back a little bit. Think about the things that they do and the things that they have said and the things they have done. They did that for you. And you may not notice the things that they've done, but your parents and your dad bent over backwards for everything he could to give you. They may not have had the money to take care of all the most amazing things that you always wanted. But it comes down to, as a dad, you will do anything you can to make sure your kids have everything that you think that they can even just get, right? Pretty simple. Oh my gosh, thank you guys thank you. That is awesome. The third thing it says, at every achievement of yours, he cheered you on. I can tell you this, from me being a dad, I could not always be at every one of my kids' games and activities and things like that. But I've tried. And when I was there, I was there. I was present. I didn't have my phone out. I was not sidetracked. I was there watching. I was participating, and I was cheering you on, because that's what dads do. And immediately after, this is one of the things that dads do. Immediately after, we tried to pave the path to make your life that much better. All I can say is we need to give parents a bigger, as an adult. I'm asking all you teenagers, all you young adults, give your parents a little bit of slack. And the reason I say that is because just like you're growing up, just like with you're getting older and you're growing up and you're learning to do things, you're learning to become an adult, your parents are doing the same thing. I can tell you right now, I'm 46 years old. I've never been 46 before. I don't know what it's like to be 46. Next year, I'll be 47. I don't know what it's like to be 47. I'm learning this just like everyone else is. Now, I do have some experiences being an adult, because I've been an adult for a while, and I've been on my own and been doing the things that I've been doing by myself on my own for a while. So I have some experience, so I can help out on a lot of things. That's why I do this. This is kind of like my dad advice whole deal. But that's the whole point here, right? If there's anything that I can do to help someone's life make it better, no matter how hard it is or whatever, that's what I want to do. I want to make everyone's life that much easier, give them a different perspective of life, make it where they can actually function a little bit better, do the things help people get through the hard things. Because honestly, being an adult's hard. Being a kid is hard because you've never been where you were either. You're brand new. You're doing this stuff brand new. You're being as a young adult. You're doing that. You've never had to do this before either. It's all about perspective, right? And so you gotta, again, cut your parents some slack and cut yourself some slack, because you deserve to be happy. That's really what this comes down to. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to have the things that you need. You deserve to have some of the things you want, not everything that you want. And I think that's, I think we confuse things a lot of times as we get older. We think that we deserve everything that we ever wanted. Why would you want everything that you ever wanted? I think the reason we don't have everything that we want is because we don't really need everything that we want. They're just wants. So anyway, just a little video I listened to, and I thought it was pretty interesting. I thought I'd talk about it. But yeah, so anyway, we got some emails, and let me get down to this. Some of these are, I answer a lot of these things all the time. And here we go. Here we go. Ready for this one? It says, "Hey Devin, whenever I start whenever things start going well in my life, whether it's my relationship or work or even just my personal goals, I have a habit of sabotaging it. I'll pick fights, I'll procrastinate it, I'll make impulsive decisions and make everything up. Decisions that mess everything up." Sorry, wow. I need to get my new prescription. It's like I'm scared of being too happy. So I unconsciously create problems to bring things back to normal. I don't know why I do this, but it's starting to ruin good things in my life. How do I stop self-sabotaging and allow myself to enjoy the things that life gives me when they're going well? Self-sabotage is a real thing. And I think a lot of times we do this. I think what happens is we have this is my personal opinion. I think what happens is we get so used to a certain type of thing happening to us a lot. And because of that, we tend to, as things start to change, we don't like change. Most people don't like change. I can tell you, most people don't like change. Most people don't refuse to get into change. When something starts changing, then they try to change it to the normal stuff that they're used to. And that's that whole self-sabotage thing that he's talking about. You got to stop. What you need to do is learn how to just go with the flow when it comes to life. Learn to just make a decision, run with it, let it happen. Don't start making putting things in the way of it. Like it's like if you're in a relationship. It's like if you've been in bad relationships before, and then all of a sudden you get into a good relationship and you don't know what to do because the person's actually treating you with respect. The person's opening the door for you. You have a good night. Thank you, by the way. Have a good night. It's when you go as you start seeing that someone's treating you well, and all of a sudden you turn around and you're like, how can this be? This makes no sense. It's because you've been in bad relationships all the time. Except this type of situation, you're in the bad relationship for yourself, and you've created a bad relationship for yourself. And you're used to you treating yourself poorly, and because you've treated yourself poorly, you're like, well, okay, always need to be treating myself poorly. You got to start thinking kinder to yourself. You got to start being nicer to yourself. You got to start treating yourself with more respect. Because if you can't do that for yourself, you can't expect other people to do it for you. No one else is going to treat you right, especially if you don't treat yourself right. How you treat yourself is the way you expect other people to treat you. And when people treat you better, it's confusing. To stop doing this, you need to be more positive in your life. Seriously, you need to look at the things as they are. You need to run with things as they are, and you just need to be happy. Seriously, you need to sit back and say, you know what? I deserve some of this. I deserve to be happy. I deserve, my life to go exactly as I want it to go. Don't think that you don't deserve more because deserve less because you deserve way more. That's the reality. Be happy with yourself. And I know that can be hard. And especially when we live in a world where like, oh, well, I have to have this, or this person does this. We live in a world where we're always looking at other people because the other people they have things that we don't have. And we start thinking that we need to have those things. If you stop doing that and you're just happy with your own circumstances and you let life happen, your life is going to be way better. All right. Let's see what else we got on here. Hey, Devin, I know social media is a highlight. I know social media is a highlight reel, but I can't stop comparing myself to everyone else, whether it's friends getting promotions, traveling the world, or building the perfect looking family. I'm always feeling like I'm falling behind. I know I shouldn't measure my life against theirs, but it's hard to not feel inadequate even when I achieve something. It doesn't feel good enough because someone else seems to be doing better. How do I stop comparing myself to others and find contentment with my own journey? Okay. Social media is the worst when it comes to this. You're always thinking, man, they got more followers. Oh, they got, like you said, they got the prettiest family. They got all this thing. The reality is you're going to have to just be fine. You're going to have to sit back and say, you know what? That is fake. I'm telling you, 90% of the stuff you see on social media, and I'll be liberal, say 90%, is fake. It's not real. It's just something new it's something that people put on airs just so because they want people to be able to brag on them. And it's wrong. Part of this, what you need to do is unplug a little bit. You need to turn off your phone. Well, honestly, you need to go in and turn off all your notifications. Okay. All your notifications on all your social media. Because, to say that you're going to stop watching and using social media is going to be a lie. People don't do that. People always are going to be on social media. They're always going to be doing those things. But you just got to go in and say, I'm not doing this. I'm going to leave this alone and move on from there. If you turn off the notifications, then you'll be less prone to compare yourself to that immediate person who just look at my beautiful family or look at this new thing that I just got. If you turn them off, which I know it's weird to say. I know, like for me, I've at the first of the year I turned off my notifications. I did, every one of them. And when I turned off my notifications, it allowed me to actually have a breather, and made my life easier. Self-comparison, comparing yourself to others is something that we all do to a point, but you got to understand if you can be just happy with, there's people out there that look at you and wish they had what you have. I know that's kind of something hard to believe, but there's people out there who look at you and go, man, that person's got their whole life together. They've got this job, they've got this car, all these different things. So you don't need to think about it as you got to have these certain things. What you need to do is think about it and say, you know what? I'm good. My life is actually good. And then the hardest part is just stop doing it. And if you can't stop doing it, maybe it's time to delete some of those things. You're always going to have the friends that are going to be out there bragging about their things. You're always going to have the friends that like to show off. But you don't have to be that person. Let them be that person. You're better than that. You deserve way better than that. And you just got to look at the whole comparison side and say, I don't need this. Because that creates negative connotations in your brain. You start thinking, wow, why can't I have that? Why can't I have this? Blah, 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 blah. And so it hurts you. You got to figure out the best way to do this. And honestly, my opinion is start off by turning off your notifications on your phone. Plain and simple. What else we got? Trying to see if there's something new. I haven't updated these lists. So I've been working on that side project, and I've been not really that diligent as downloading all the emails. So yeah. Hey, Devin, I spend so much time focused on work, bills, and responsibilities that I'm starting to worry I'm wasting my life on things that don't really matter. I don't want to look back one day and realize I never lived fully because I was too busy with my day-to-day grind, but on the same time, I'm not sure how to break out of the routine and start living more meaningful. How do I make sure I'm living a life that matters instead of just getting through each day? So I had a talk with someone this week about the same exact thing. You know, as we go through life, we get stuck in these ruts, right? And a lot of these ruts are lack of a better word. We as people, we create ourselves to be in bondage and enslaved. We do. We're all essentially slaves in our own way. I know, and I'm not talking about the back in the 1800s and things like that where you owned a person, but we kind of let people own us. I say that, and the reason I say that is if you think about your circumstances and you think about the things that you're currently doing, right? I'll use myself as an example. We don't own a house. We rent. So we have to pay that rent every month. Never fails, has to be paid, no questions asked. Because if we don't, then we're living on the streets. So that has to be done. 2, we have cell phones. So we pay a service to have a cell phone. These are conveniences, don't get me wrong, and they're nice to have and they're good to have because communication is always nice. It allows us to do things that we want to do. They allow us to make money. They allow us a lot of different things like that. 3, we have, we pay for Netflix and like 3 other streaming services. I think 3 other streaming services. Excuse me, sorry about that. And then, now luckily we don't have the credit card debt that most people do. We actually don't have any credit card debt, which is nice. And we stash money away, which is even better. So we're setting ourselves up to be away from this whole wasted life deal. A lot of times we go through our life and we put ourselves in situations where we have to keep paying things to people all the time. This is one reason I hate subscription services. And yes, I do have subscription services where people can get extra content from me. And that's cool. I appreciate when people do that, but I'm not a huge fan of them myself, right? Because part of that is because I like to know where my money's going at all times. I like to know that when my money goes out, I get something in return that is convenient and good for me. Let's put it this way. If our society, say it went totally downhill, zombie apocalypse, just kidding. No zombies, whatever. If the economy crashed, we still have to pay things. Our landlord will still want us to pay our bills. If you want to have a life that you can have more meaning and you want to get out of the whole rut and routine of doing the same old things every day, limit what you spend money on. Limit what you have to give people money on. Because if you do that, then you open yourself up where you can actually do the things that you want to do. You can actually, not have to worry about things. If you owned a house, and I know that's a really hard thing to do for a lot of people, a lot of younger people and things like that, because cost of living has skyrocketed like crazy, right? Blame politics whatsoever. I don't give a crap. The reality is things are more expensive. And because of it, it makes it harder where in reality, we have to keep working like crazy. We have to work all the time just to scrape by. And that's what I'm talking about. And that's what you're struggling with, is because you go to work, you go home, you eat the same type of dinners every night, you go to bed, you do that 5 days a week minimum. Then you take your little weekend and you sleep in probably one of those days, if not both of those days. And then you spend a little bit more time with your family. It's kind of, you just exist. You're not really living. And you know what we need to do? We need to figure out how to actually live in our life versus just exist. And part of that is actually to free ourselves from a lot of these subscription services and that hold us back. Because we're always giving other people our money. If we can, not do that, we can give ourselves a more free life. We can have the things that we really need to have, and not necessarily the things that we want. I think that's part of getting out, doing the things that matter. Is you free by eliminating the chaos and the dumb things in your life. You actually can set yourself up to do much better things. You can set yourself up to, be free. You set yourself up to where you can, literally hang out anytime you want. That's the dream, right? That's the part that we really need to be working on. It's hard and it's sucky, but we can do it. It's just, you got to get to the point where you're like, okay, I can make it past this. Anyway, what else we got in here? Hey, Devin, I spend a lot of time worrying about the future, and it feels like I'm missing out on the present. I'm always thinking about what could go wrong, what I need to plan for, or how to avoid potential problems down the road. It's exhausting, and I know it's affecting my ability to enjoy life at the moment and be in the moment. I want to be able to live more in the present, but my mind is constantly racing with anxiety about what's coming next. How do I learn to stop worrying about the future and start appreciating the now? You need some vitamins in your diet. Seriously. Get yourself some vitamins. And I'm honestly, so the anxiety part can be taken care of. You need exercise. You need to be eating better, and you need to be taking some vitamins. I'll probably take some ashwagandha and things like that. You need to be doing the things that are going to help you to get past, some of the anxiety and the worry. I understand this completely because my brain is always 100 miles an hour all the time. Boom, boom, boom. Always something's going on. Always thinking about something. Always just dealing with things that are very difficult and creating scenarios that don't exist, that are ridiculous, but my brain still does it. But what you got to do is figure out how to make that for the things for the good, right? Instead of dwelling on the fears, try to get your brain, retrain your brain to dwell on the things that can be amazing. Who you can hang out with, what things you can do. So like this whole new project I'm working on, it's a passion project. It's kind of something that I've been wanting to do for a while. Not necessarily specifically this, but part of this is part of it, right? And so I create things that are for good by doing this. I create stuff that makes me where I can actually slow my brain down and make my life work way better and function way better. By changing the mindset, by taking the vitamins that I take, I'm telling you, vitamin B, take some ashwagandha, magnesium at night so you can go to bed. That's why I'm yawning, because I took my magnesium a little bit too early. And so, but if you do these, this will be the stuff that will help you. There's nothing wrong with thinking about the future and what is to come and what can come. But to make it where it takes over your life, that's where it goes bad. You deserve to not have to do that. And the only way to get past that is to just stop doing it. And to stop doing it, you need to start having your brain work on other things that can matter, right? Have it work towards good and not towards bad, or as simple as that. All right, what else? Hey, Devin, I feel like I'm constantly trying to prove myself to everyone around me. My boss, my family, my friends. It's exhausting. No matter what I accomplish, I feel like I have to do more to get their approval. I want some of this pressure of I know some of this pressure is self-imposed, but I can't help but feel like I'm never good enough. I know I want to be able to exist without constantly seeking validation from others. How do I stop needing to prove myself and to start feeling secure about who I am? The first thing you got to start on is yourself. Okay. You got to stop worrying. Well, stop. You need to sit back and say, I don't have to have the approval of others. Plain and simple. My kids do not need my approval. They don't need my validation. Everybody wants that. That's the thing. When growing up, we always want those that we consider our superiors. We always want them to be involved in our lives. We always want them to, tell us, good job. That was amazing. We always want those accolades, right? But the only way to make life better is to not dwell on the fact that you need those accolades. We don't need accolades. We don't need the approval of others. You don't need it. You can be happy in your life without sitting back and going, man, I need someone to tell me how good I am. Now, part of that is you have to be comfortable within your own skin. And to be comfortable in your own skin means you got to be happy with who you are, how you act, the things you think about. I mean, I can go down the long list of these things, but the things that matter the most is, honestly, the things you think about. You start there. And when you change the stuff that you think about, and you stop changing, and you change those things from like things that could be fear and things that could be what ifs, or why can't I have this? If you change that, just simple little changes of mindset, it's kind of like the when you change things of, in your brain, and when you're like, man, I have to go to school. But if you change that to I get to go to school, then that makes life that much easier, right? What's going on, my friend? And if you can change those from just when you're dwelling on the fact that I need to if again change the mindset of make it where you are, I get to do things, your life is so much better. So once you change that, then you can go in and you can start changing things from, I don't, instead of say I need the approval of someone, you can say, you know what, I'm good. There's a question that I got on Twitter the other day. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Let's see. On X, should I say X? It's not Twitter anymore, but yeah. Let's see if I can find this thing. The question was, where are you? The question is, it's hard to control what people think about you. How do you deal with this? And my reply was, I don't care. And I know that sounds pretty simple, and it almost seems like something that's impossible to say that I don't care. It's easy. When you realize that you don't have to have the approval of others, and you don't need the others to be around to, boost you up, and you say, I don't care, your life changes. Your life gets so much better. Your life is, your happiness will go beyond all means and be 10 times better, if not 100 times better. Because when you can say, I don't care what people think about me, man, your life is literally going to change drastically. And I know that's hard to think about, and it's hard to do, and it's hard to figure out, but that's what you got to do. You got to say, I don't care. And so if you're that starved for people's approval, you need to just internalize saying, I don't care if I get their approval. I mean, the only time that I would really worry internally, for anything, would be if you are focusing on things that are morally wrong, right? Sure, you should care if you rob a bank, you're not looking for someone's approval, and you shouldn't be doing that. But you got to do the right thing. If you're living your life in the right way and you're still looking for the approval of others, you just got to sit back and say, okay, I got to stop. It's not worth it. My life is going to be way better without being starved for other people's approval. You deserve to be happier, and you deserve to have a different aspect in life, without having to constantly be wondering if people approve of what you're doing. You don't need it. It's not needed. Anyway. Hey, Devin. My partner and I have been together for a few years. Recently, we've realized that we have pretty much different goals. I'm focused on building my career and starting and saying, oh man, my eyes. I'm focused on building my career and staying in the city, while they want to move to a quieter place and start a family. We love each other, but these differences are starting to feel like a big deal. I'm afraid if we keep moving in different directions, it's going to create resentment and drive us apart. Can a relationship survive when two people have different visions for their future, or are we setting ourselves up for failure? Okay, this is a conversation you guys should have had a long time ago. Before you got together, before you guys decided to get married, you needed to have the conversations. Now, there's nothing wrong with you guys having your own goals in life, but there are certain things that you need to have that work together. So, they want to go move out of the city. You like living in the city. That you're focused on your career. They want to start having a family. I mean, I'm not going to tell you that it's okay to say you're never going to have a family, because I can tell you right now, having a family will make you a better person. Having a family will get you out of the routine of selfishness, because I think that's what a lot of times what happens to us as we only focus on our career. We focus on on just the monetary things of life, and those things really don't matter. When we think, okay, I gotta have this. When I reach this goal of money, my life is going to be great. The reality is, you'll reach that goal, but then the next goal is going to be that much higher, and you'll never be happy, because you're like, oh, I'm always got to go for that next step. I got to go for that next one. Now, don't get me wrong. You do need money to survive. You do need money to live, and you do need money so you can be comfortable. But to forego having a family just because you're chasing the dream of being the next greatest giant career, I think that's wrong. And the fact that you're if anything, you're doing an injustice to the person that you're married to. And so I'm going to say, yes, going on two different paths when it comes to certain things, you guys will fall away from each other. You are setting yourself up for failure. Obviously, you guys love each other. So to fix that, what you need to do is figure out the happy medium. Okay? Don't have to move to the country, although the country is great and awesome. Move to the suburbs. You can commute. It's no big deal. And if you want to, if they want to start a family, thing is, you have to get to the point and say, okay, should I start a family? Now, I will tell you, probably not everybody should have a family, but I think everybody needs to have a family. Okay. Because if you can get past the selfishness of your life, and yes, I'm saying you're kind of being a little bit selfish here. If you can get past that and you start focusing on other things, the things that really do matter, like your family and like doing things that help you become a better person, you're going to do better. You're going to be okay. I'm telling you, life can be hard. Why make it any harder? Why set yourself up for having another spouse? Why would you do that? That's not right. You deserve better and they deserve better. You guys have been together for a while. And so because you've been together for a little while, you should make this work. Seems pretty cut and dry to me. You know, it seems like the right thing to do is to figure out the happy medium. Because that's what marriage is. Marriage is about making, changes to our own plans to make things so both people in the relationship are happy. It's that simple. Yeah. What else we got in here? More. Let me jump over here. Get some more stuff. All right. Let's see. Hey, Devin, I'm going through a big life transition and I feel completely overwhelmed. How do I find the strength to embrace these changes instead of fearing them? Change is hard. Change is difficult. If you need strength, you need to look at your family, look at your friends, and talk to them. I mean, obviously, you're asking me for advice, but the big life changes can be difficult. And again, people don't like change. Most people don't even want to deal with change. They don't want to. Okay, so I'll say it this way. For us, we have some big life changes come to us, me and my family. And part of this change is I'm not going to talk about because we're not there yet. We're trying to get there, but we're not there yet. But the other part is we are moving. We are going to be moving away from Utah, which is fine because we're not from Utah. We're going to be moving back south. We'll be moving to Tennessee. But the thing is, it's huge because for the past 10 years, we've raised our kids here in Utah. And because we raised our kids in Utah, this is all they know. Essentially, our youngest, this is all he knows. Our oldest, she's married now and she lives here and she's with her husband. And so this is all she knows. So we're gonna uproot our family, the ones which will be our youngest two, and we're gonna move back to Tennessee. Now our next to the youngest, he's our middle son, he's an adult. He's 18 now. He graduates this coming year, and so his life's gonna be changing, go in a different direction too. So we don't know. You just, you got to take one step, make it happen. Just move forward. Simple as that. Take a step forward, make your life happen, make things good. If you don't ever step out of that comfort zone, you're never going to get there anyway. Hey, Devin, I'm struggling to balance my work life with my family life. I often feel like I'm failing at both. What strategies do you recommend for achieving better work-life balance? Okay, when it's work time, let it be work time. But when it's family time, you make it family time. I get that your companies always want to call you in. They always want to make sure that that you're available to go work. But when it comes to work-life balance, When it is work time, you do the work. You focus on the work. But I will say this, family in my book always comes first. Family is the most important thing you can ever do, because if you were to die today, your job's going to replace you the next day. They're going to put an advertisement up online and they're going to say, we're hiring for this position, and you're going to be gone. Plain and simple. So don't focus on work as much as you think you should. Give everything that you're supposed to when it's work time, but when it becomes home time, then you need that home balance. Give yourself the balance. Make sure you have the home time that you deserve, and that means, honestly, turn the phone off. I was doing this consulting gig with the company out here in Salt Lake for I did it for 3 years. It was a 3-year contract, and I was managing something, and then all of a sudden, so I was I was home. It was about 2:00 in the morning, and it was my off days. I had a couple of days off, and I'm here going, you know what? My phone goes off. I turned my phone off. I ignored my phone. It was, my time is my time, and they're not paying me for my time. And so all of a sudden, my son's phone rings because they found his phone number somewhere. I can't remember how they found it. He comes up, brings me his phone. Dad, it's your boss. I'm like, okay. I answer. I'm like, hey, what's up? He goes, sorry, I couldn't get in touch with your phone. I said, yeah, because I turned my phone off. When it's my time, it's my time. He goes, well, I'm out of town. So-and-so's out of town. You're the only person that can take care of this problem. I need you to go take care of it. I'm like, well, I'm off. This is my time. He goes, I'll make sure I take care of you. I'm like, I'm just letting you know this. I will be taking this, whatever time you're taking from me, I will be rewarding myself back. And yes, you will be paying me more because I'm coming in for this, but I'm going to take my time back because my time is my time. So when it comes to life-work balance, the key thing is work is always going to be there. Work is always going to be around, but your kids are only going to be the age that they are right now. Our youngest son is 14 years old now. He's only going to be 14 right now at this time. So I have a choice for myself now. I can enjoy this time with my kids, especially as they're getting older, or I could ignore it and move and do the other things. Well, I don't want to do the other things. I want to spend my time with my kids. Where the things that matter the most to you and that are going to be your focus, that's where you should spend your time. Again, work is always going to be there. That's just how that is. Work will not care. Work will just be there, and it's always going to take up a lot of your time. Make sure you're not giving up on the wrong things. Plain and simple. Hey, Devin, I want to teach my kids about money management, but I'm not sure where to start. What are some effective ways to introduce financial literacy to your children? Plain and simple. Make them earn some money. If it's doing chores around the house, not just normal chores. So I don't believe paying my kids for doing chores. You live in this house, you get to the benefit of helping take care of this house. Now, what I do and okay with is rewarding them for doing more, right? So if they have a chore list, let them do the chore list that needs to be done. But then on that chore list, you say extra chores and you show them money. Then you need to open up a bank account for them and you show them, when you earn this much money, we're going to take this much money and we're going to put it to the side into a savings account. Until that savings account hits a certain number, then you can teach them to do the investment side. Money management is one thing that most people don't teach. Most people don't understand money management. Most people don't understand how to even make a dollar turn into $2, to be honest. They just know that they go to work and they get rewarded by working X amount of hours, and that's what they get. But that's not right. To teach, start small. Again, start small. If they're younger, start small. That's all it is. Teach them the things that matter and how to do it as they're young. And when they get older and you've taught them the basics, then they'll be set up for success for the future. Hey, Devin, I'm moving to a new city, and I'm excited, but also nervous about starting over. What are some tips for making new friends and feeling at home in a new place? Go to, find you a local church, meet some new friends there. Seriously, find you a local church that you can go to, meet people there, talk to them, get to know them, create those bonds that you need, and honestly, starting over, it can be a good thing. It sets yourself up where you can honestly be happy and have the things that you need. It's not a problem. Starting over is a good thing, but it'll be just make the step. Talk to everybody. That literally, if you want to make friends, you talk to everybody. Pretend you're from the South. Pretend and like me, and you act like that you know everybody just because you're willing to talk to them about anything. Plain and simple. Hey, Devin. I recently lost touch with some friends, and I'm feeling lonely. How do I rekindle old friendships and make new ones as an adult? Making friends as an adult, it can seem like a daunting task. Kind of like when you're a kid. When you were a little kid, you could walk up to anybody and you're like, "Hey, you like purple balls, like the little balls? I do too." The thing is, it's the little things. Find something that you have in common with somebody, or say, "Hey, what book are you reading these days?" I mean, it's the small talk that leads into great talk, right? You just got to, I think part of the problem is the fear of that will they reject me, or the fear, are they going to be out of my league? Are they going to be weird or whatever? You figure that out as you talk to them, right? But I think as adults, we overthink making friends. And typically we don't really make any more friends. I can tell you, my friends that I can tell right now, I can count them on one hand. Plain and simple. My number one is my wife. That's my number one. I don't really make any other friends. I've got a couple other friends that, I got a friend in Texas and a friend down in Arizona, and we talk occasionally. It's not an everyday thing, but we talk occasionally. But the reality is making friends as an adult change. It's a total different dynamic as when we were little kids. But you just got to do it. Change your life a little bit so you can have a better life. Hey, Devin. My teenager is becoming increasingly distant, and I'm not sure how to reconnect. How do I bridge the gap and start having meaningful conversations again? So, teenagers are rough. Honestly, and I'll say it, sometimes teenagers absolutely suck. They suck to talk to. They suck to deal with. It is a horrible, they can make life very horrible, especially, as you're saying, as they feel to make their distance. It's because they're learning to figure out who they are. That's the hardest part about dealing with teenagers is you want to give them enough space so they know what's going on, that they know that they can make decisions in their life, but you also want to make sure that they don't have too much space because you want to make sure that you are important in their life. Now, how do you do that? Find common ground, make it happen, do things with them. Honestly, take them to get ice cream. Dead serious. It may sound dumb, and they may say, well, this is dumb. I guarantee they'll enjoy the ice cream. They'll enjoy the frozen yogurt, whatever it is. Create a new tradition, especially as they're teenagers, so you can put them in an environment, even if it's just going to go purchase it, because I know teenagers get embarrassed because they're in the car with their parents, but or they don't want to be seen in public with their parents. Just go pick it up, go sit it in the car and eat it in the car. Being around them and letting them know that you care about them, even if nothing is ever said, just having your teenager know that you're around them and that you love them and you care about them, that will go a long ways. That'll make it where they feel like that they can actually talk to you. One thing we've always tried to do, we've always tried to teach our kids and let them know that we are always going to be here for them, even if they don't think we will, and we're always willing to talk to them about anything. No prejudgment, no whatever. It's all straightforward, plain and simple. That's the reality. If you're there for your teenager and they feel like you're there for them, they'll come to you for everything. I could talk to my mom about anything and everything. It didn't matter what it was. Hey, Devin, we're planning a family vacation, but the kids can't. Oh, what's happening here? Oh. The kids can't agree on where to go. Any advice on how to pick a destination everyone will enjoy? Disney, plain and simple. Just call it, make it happen, do Disney. No, honestly, I jokingly say that because I'm not a huge Disney fan. Don't give your kids options. I get you want to involve your children in the decision making when it comes to vacations. Part of that is you have them help pick the food that you eat, and the places that you go should be the secondary. You pick the vacation, you figure out what you want to do, and you find the things that will be entertaining that they would enjoy, and then you allow them to pick the food. That's what you do. It's not their job to figure that one out, plain and simple. Yeah. Again, life we overcomplicate life and we make life harder than it should be. Just do it simply. If you can do it simple, your life will be that much more simple. Your life will be easier because you've made it simple. Anyway, I just want to tell you guys thank you. I appreciate the trust you guys have in me. I appreciate the emails. I'm going to get off here, and I will see you guys tomorrow because we're going to do this pretty much every night. So yeah, hope all is well. I'll tell you more about my potential project coming up. We got coming up. So, but yeah, anyway, hope you guys are doing well. Hope everybody's happy, and I will talk to you guys later. You guys be good. Have a good night.
Talk about life and what you're preaching, family tales and where you're going, truths you need without the sugar coating. On the mic, yeah, they won't falter, advice they give like a sacred altar, stories real, you can't ignore them, light and dark, they always explore them. Young blood's here for you, with wisdom, old and questions new. Tune in now and you will see, life's a mess, but side by side we're free. Wisdom shared from heart to heart, pushing through when life falls apart. Raw and true, no hesitation, covering life without the reservation. Family roots and wayward souls, stories deep like black and coals, guiding you when times are tough. Stick around if you ain't had enough. Young blood's here for you, with wisdom, old and questions new. Tune in now and you will see, life's a mess, but side by side we're free. Numbers here for you, with wisdom, old and questions new. Tune in now and you will see, life's a mess, but side by side we're free. Wisdom shared from heart to heart, pushing through when life falls apart. Raw and true, no hesitation, covering life without the reservation.